Hi everyone, and welcome to our video on finding derivatives of exponential functions, where this time we're looking to find the second derivative. Okay, so let's break these down. All right, so to find the second derivative, we need the first derivative. Okay, so my first derivative, this is ready to go. Okay, so s prime of t. So that 4 is just hanging out, and then I'm going to bracket for this problem. Okay, so the 4 is just hanging out, and then now I'm doing the derivative of the exponential. Remember, the derivative of an exponential there we go, exponential is itself times the derivative of its power. Okay, so I see, oh, this is an exponential function. Just write it out. The derivative is itself, so e to the 3t squared plus 5t minus 1, all in that power. And then we're saying also then times it by the derivative of its power. Derivative of power there. And then, so this is a polynomial. We can do our power rule on each part. So 3t squared's derivative is 6t. And then 5t's derivative is 5. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put my bracket down. And there we go. Okay, so that's the first derivative. Now we need to find the second derivative. Now notice the second derivative will require the product rule. So we have this times this inside there. Again, the 4 is just hanging out, so the 4 is just going to be waiting. Okay, so we need to do the product rule for the second derivative. For s double prime of t. Okay, so let's get down to business with that. All right, so I'm just going to label right below, this is u, this is v, and we know that our second derivative, so the 4 is just going to be hanging out with a bracket. The second derivative by using the product rule will be u prime v plus uv prime. And then now let's plug those in. Okay, so again, 4 is just hanging out. Okay, so u is an exponential function. So that means I'm going to copy it. So the derivative of the exponential function, e to the 3t squared plus 5t minus 1, and then times it by the derivative of its power, which is 6t plus 5. Okay, so derivative of 3t squared is 6t, and then derivative of 5t is 5. Okay, so that was the u prime part. And now the v part, so there was the u prime part. The v part is to just copy the 6t plus 5. Okay, and then now we've got plus. The u part is the e to the 3t squared plus 5t minus 1. And then the derivative of the v part, so we just put in the u part, v prime looks like it's just 6. And then we put in our bracket. All right, and then one thing that happens with the product rule with our exponential is usually we have an exponential that will factor out of each term. Okay, so that in the highlighted, I can factor out. Okay, so I'm gonna underline it. We're gonna factor that out. So that means, so our calculus is done. Now let's just simplify. So the 4 again is just hanging out, but we're factoring the e to the 3t squared plus 5t minus 1 out with it, and then bracket. Notice right here is the same thing times itself. So we would probably rewrite that as 6t plus 5 squared, or we would FOIL it. Okay, so it just depends on the mood that they're in or we're in. Okay, and then plus, and this got factored out entirely, 6 is left over, so plus 6. Okay, and I'm gonna say I think this is good. Maybe we need to FOIL this out and then continue simplifying. ... But I think often they're okay with just how it is here. Okay, so that is our second derivative. Okay, so let's see our number 2. So if we need to FOIL, so I was mostly concerned with the calculus step. So, but if you need to simplify, go for it. Or if you have questions, let me know.